So, dear ones, this sermon is doomed. It is the last sermon that I will preach to you as your minister. It is the period at the end of the sentence, at the end of the novel, the closing punctuation on 3 years of being in this shared interim ministry together. And no matter what I say in the next 20 minutes, it cannot possibly hold all those 3 years. It cannot hold all the Sundays that we laughed, the Sundays that we cried, the days that we raged together. It cannot hold the memorial services or the child dedications or the hard conversations that we've had in my office or the easy conversations that we had in social hour. It cannot hold what we made together, how we struggled together, how we did this messy work of living our faith as Unitarian Universalists together. So, I'm going to trust that all of that and all of the rest, that what we have been to each other in these 3 years, all of it is already written into your bones and written into my bones. And we don't need this sermon to do that work because it is already being held. We have already changed one another. Instead, I'm going to offer one last reflection, one final goodbye. Because we as a culture are not very good at endings or goodbyes. And I know we all want this one between this congregation and me as your interim minister. We want it to be a good one. But what makes a good goodbye? It's a question we're thinking about because we don't talk about it much. We have whole rituals for beginnings and weddings and ordinations and child dedications and welcome ceremonies and onboardings for new jobs. But endings we tend to rush through or avoid or complain about or get through with as little ceremony as possible. Right? But this faith that we share has something to say about that. We Unitarian Universalists are a covenantal people. We are bound together not by creeds, but by promises about how we will be in relationship together. And covenant takes ending seriously because it's not a thing we just walk away from. It's a thing that we tend even when we are leaving. So this morning, we are all taking this tending of this. That's not a sign. I'll just note that has never happened in the 3 years that I've been here. Do we need to give time for the folks on Zoom to come back? We're going to give us a minute. I didn't get dropped off. Oh, maybe I did. I didn't get dropped off of Zoom. Okay. All right. Well, I was saying we're going to take tending this ending seriously. I didn't mean that seriously. So let's talk a little bit about what a healthy goodbye is for ministry and what it is not. Oh, do we need? Yes.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. It's so exciting. First and foremost, a healthy goodbye in ministry does not come through a betrayal. My colleague, the Reverend Deborah Pope Lance, has spent her whole career studying what happens to congregations after a minister leaves badly. And what she has found out that congregations carry that wound forward for decades. They develop anxiety that spikes whenever change is on the horizon. They distrust leaders in ways that seem disproportionate until you understand the history. They brace for the next bad ending, even when they cannot articulate why. The body of the congregation remembers what the conscious mind has forgotten, that a minister betrayed them. When a congregation or a person has had an ending involving betrayal, they are going to be more likely to engage in some unhealthy goodbye patterns. Patterns like leaning more toward what I recently learned is called an Irish goodbye or a French ending. Do you know what those are? Well, you guys know more than I do. That's where you just walk away. You don't say anything, you just kind of disappear. Now, this kind of goodbye that's not a goodbye does have its place, sort of. I confess that when I was in Chicago skating with the Windy City Skaters on one of their Friday night road raves a few weeks ago, and I skated with this group for nearly 5 years now. I love these people. We skated through the city with lights on our wheels, wind in our faces, music was blaring. Yes, it is as much fun as it sounds. And at the end of the night, even though I hadn't seen these folks in nearly 9 months, my friend and I just left. No hugs, no, I've missed you. We just slipped into the night. And that will be fine, because I can go back. Whenever I'm in Chicago, I can show up, lace up, and roll out with them again. The Irish goodbye, or French ending, works when the relationship is continuous, when the leaving is just a pause. But that's not what we're doing here this morning, is it? I cannot come back to UUI as your minister. This is not a pause, this is an ending. And an ending deserves more than an Irish goodbye. Another unhealthy but common way of saying goodbye is by getting annoyed or angry with one another as a way of avoiding our sorrow. This used to be my pattern, as I learned the hard way years ago in my ministerial formation. At the end of an intense year of CPE, clinical pastoral education, as we were preparing to finish, I started getting angry at the people that I cared about over things that did not warrant it. And in good CPE style, someone called me on it. I wonder what your anger is trying to cover up, they observed. And I completely burst into tears because it was covering up sadness at ending. I was getting mad so that it would be easier for me to leave. Because if I was annoyed enough, then I wouldn't have to feel the grief. If I could find enough small things wrong, I could walk away without sitting in the sadness of losing something real. And wouldn't you know, this pattern of mine was one that I was able to trace back into childhood and then begin working on. I know I'm not alone in this. We all do it sometimes. We pick fights on our way out. We let small irritations expand until they are large enough to justify the leaving. Anger, for many of us, anger is much more manageable than grief is. So not surprisingly, it happens when ministers leave congregations too. When a minister is leaving, the anxiety in a system spikes. Sometimes that anxiety comes out sideways. Remember the jelly donut metaphor? As pressure increases, the jelly, the anxiety, comes out in conflict, as criticism, as sudden cataloging of everything that has gone wrong. It's not malicious, it's human. And recognizing this pattern is the first step toward choosing something different. If you are feeling angry with me right now personally in ways that maybe you haven't before, then maybe some of that is what's going on. And I am super, super proud of how we collectively have chosen not to end this ministry on a sour note. We are ending this with love and with gratitude. Yay, us. Now, this doesn't mean that a healthy goodbye feels good. A goodbye is always a change, a loss. There will still be sadness. We will still miss each other. Nothing can take that away because, as I said a few moments ago, you are in my bones now, and I am in yours. So if a healthy goodbye still hurts, then what makes it healthy? What makes a good goodbye, especially when a ministry ends? Well, a good goodbye is witnessed. It happens in the presence of community. It's intentional. It's shaped with care. It's honest. It doesn't paper over the hard parts. A good goodbye is mutual. Both sides participate. Both sides say what they need to say and release each other. And a good goodbye has clear boundaries, like the ministerial guidelines that require me to step back fully from your lives so that there is room for your next minister. And another sign of a healthy goodbye, we are all a little tired of hearing about it. Oh my God, how many times are we going to say goodbye? It's true. I can feel it in the room. I can feel it in myself. We've been talking about my leaving for months. The leaving sermon series, the announcements, the how many meetings have we had left? Tomorrow's my last board meeting, right? All these last meetings. And there's a part of us, for many of us, that is ready to be done with the talking, ready to actually do the thing, ready to actually move into what is next. And that is not failure. That is the opposite. That is the sign that the work has been done, that we have grieved together, we have prepared, we have made space, we have said what needs to be said. We will miss each other. We have done good ministry together. And now we are ready to celebrate the hell out of what we did together, and then to walk forward into our separate futures with full hearts. I have done my work. You have done your work. We are ready. Beloveds, this is what a healthy goodbye looks like. And here's the thing that I most want you to remember after today. This goodbye that we are having, this healthy, long goodbye, is a gift that keeps on giving. It is a gift to Reverend Josh. He will come into a congregation that has had a good ending. You will trust him more quickly because you have just lived through a healthy ending with me. And this is good goodbye is a gift to me. You are reminding me in this very moment how to do it, what it looks like for a congregation to love a minister, even if you sometimes disagree with her, and let her go and celebrate her on the way out. I will carry that with me whenever I hit a rough patch in ministry. And this goodbye is also a gift to you. The next time loss comes to this congregation, and it will come, that is what life is, you will know that endings can be honored, that it isn't always bad, and that you can say goodbye in a healthy way. The congregation that learns to do endings well becomes a congregation that handles all of life's transitions better. So you're not just learning how to say goodbye to one minister, you are learning the capacity that will serve you for decades and heal some of those past wounds. A good goodbye is a gift that we give one another, and we are ready. You are ready. You are ready for what comes next. You have done the work. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always been clear. It hasn't always been straightforward. It hasn't always felt good. Sometimes it hasn't felt good at all. But you have done it, and here we are. So let us celebrate what we have built and the shared ministry we have done together, and then let us release each other with grateful hearts into what comes next. Thank you for letting me be your minister. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for engaging even when it was hard. I have appreciated and loved and grown so much in this time with you. Thank you for this shared ministry. Goodbye.